Hey, what's up guys, it's Dan and I'm here for another video, and today's video is the 200 subscribers special. I knew we could get to it. I set the goal, I think it was something crazy like 200 by August, and we managed to reach 200, what was it, the 15th of May. That is the time of recording this as well, and that is just mind-blowing. So thank you so much to everyone who's stuck with the channel and everyone who's just joined the channel. I want to give a shout out to Luigi Animation. He actually got me. He was the 200th subscriber, and shout out to James_179 as well. Thank you for putting on your community tab my channel and getting some of your audience to come and subscribe to me as well. So I'll leave links to both those channels in the description below. And yeah, so for the 200 subscriber special, I'm going to be showing you guys my sort of behind the scenes of how I do and structure my stop motion. I don't know, I wouldn't say it's really complicated. I have been like editing YouTube videos or just doing videos and everything for about 5 years now, so I've kind of managed to get to grips with it. You'll probably think this is some really basic crap. The way I do it is just the easiest way for me personally. So it should be showing in Premiere Pro. I'm using the Premiere Pro 2018 version, just mainly because that one doesn't seem to bug. I've been having some issues with the 2020 version, like the latest one. I don't know what's going on with it. But yeah, so this is my Landing On Ryloth stop motion. I wanted to show you one which I've already done, so I can kind of go through the steps easier on how I did those pieces and everything. So yeah, there's going to be probably a lot of noise from Premiere Pro, but whatever. Yeah, let me just sort that, because that is going to be dreadful. Right, and yeah, so first step is the sort of fading in the text and the logo. It did, honestly, I had a few issues with this. I was trying to slow it down enough so you do get it as a solid, like it's 100% opacity. I somehow messed that up and it just kind of fades in and then fades out again, which, yeah, that's kind of annoying. I don't really like that. I don't know why it did that though, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, apart from that, I think, what's it on? It's got quite a lot of views now. So if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It isn't a Lego one. It is a 3.75 inch scale one. Yeah, so when it came to... So here's the text anyway. When it came to green screening and everything, I took images. So it should be here. I took a picture on my iPhone of it. I tried doing it because I do have a piece of green paper, or you've probably seen the back, some orange card, because you want to make sure when you're green screening, I don't know why they call it green screening, you should just refer to it as chroma keying. You want to make sure that everything you want to keep in shot isn't the same colour as the background you're trying to crop out, because when it comes to chroma keying that colour out, it's going to get rid of that. So for example, here I've got purple. If I had a piece of purple, one of the figures was purple, like the same shade, it would just kind of get rid of that bit. It wouldn't look right. And yeah, so that's why I didn't stick with green or blue, because as you can see, the gunship was green. And if I did do green, even though it would be a different shade, it would still mess it up and everything. So yeah, I did use orange as well, I believe. Yeah, like here we used orange, and actually I'm really happy how it came out. It actually came out better than if I used any of the other colours. I did try around with some of the other ones. Orange just seemed to work the best out of all of them. So I stuck with orange, and then we went back to purple with another one. I don't know why I changed. I can't actually remember. I think it was because on this one the sun was... You can see there is a bit of glare by the feet of them. That was kind of annoying. It's because when I took the pictures, like the sun... It was like it probably had been about half an hour, and it just got lighter in my room, which is really annoying. Yeah, that happened. Stop motion. So the stop motion sequence we have here, I didn't take too long to do. So we've got stop motion here, and then it goes to just a normal video, and video again, then stop motion. The reason why I do video when it's like a ship taking off is because if you try and do it in stop motion, you need to hold it in the exact same position for whatever your frame rate is. I think mine was 2. So I need to do 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and keep moving it up. But you just can't hold it steady unless you have like on a solid, like if you had like a tripod or something and it was like on there and you were lifting it gradually. So I just thought it looked smoother doing a video, and I think it did look better as a video. You can still see it wobbling a bit, but it does kind of give off the realistic effect. One issue I did encounter was when I was going from video back to stop motion. You can see the resolution is slightly different. It's more zoomed in on the video, then when you go to the stop motion, it's more zoomed out. That was an issue. It's mainly with iPhones, I think. Something to do with the resolutions, because for example, you go into photo and in video, it like has them zoomed in different rates, and I don't know why they do that. It's kind of annoying. It might just be with old iPhones like the 8s and that, and then go into 10s and that. It's probably not that bad. But yeah, that's what happened. Really annoying. Now when we get onto the background, I think I used one image and I just messed around with zooming it in and stuff. If I can try and get it, which this is going to be a pain to do, isn't it? So you can see here, I just really zoomed in this top corner, and I did that for the rest of them. So I just changed it throughout. So you got the middle bit here, and then somewhere else we have slightly lower down, and then when they do land, it is the grassy bit down here. I was surprised. I honestly thought I'd have to use more images, and I'm glad I didn't, because it keeps the continuity going. Because otherwise you'd be able to tell with like the lighting and everything being off if you got a different picture, different resolution, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, anyway, this is what the timeline does look like. So it's not too complex. Like it could be way more complex easily. But yeah, it's not too bad, and it was quite easy to edit around. The one bit which I always find fun doing is getting the voice clips. I just get I watch clips on YouTube from Star Wars: Clone Wars episodes. I've watched all of them, so I kind of roughly know what lines I want. So I kind of know what episode they're in. Then I just have to find the clips, because you can't screen record on Disney Plus. That's what I do for my clips. I use the iPhone built-in screen recorder, screen record the clips, put the clips in, and then unlink the audio and video tracks, delete the video track, and then you just got audio. Or you can just put it into VLC, something like VLC, and then convert the MP4 just to MP3. It depends what way you want to do it. What I did was I got a whole series of clips together and put them together that way. So it was just like, I put all the voice lines in a separate project, then exported it as an MP3, and then just dragged it into my main project sort of thing. Which, that was the easiest way of doing it, I think, anyway. And yeah, I find that probably the most fun bit. Stop motion, when you actually film the stop motion, it can be really tedious. You can have sets falling, you can have your figures falling, or the lighting, just stuff always ends up going wrong somehow. It can be really minor things, it can be really massive things, like lighting. That can be quite a big thing. If you shoot a scene earlier in the day, then come back to about half an hour, later, it might still be light outside, but the lighting's definitely different. It's gone down, could be with clouds or whatever. So it is a pain. I do record my stop motions in my room, because I would say it's quite spacious. But yeah, that is one issue I always kind of run into, is lighting. I do have lamps, but they're like a yellow bulb, so it doesn't help. It just gives it a yellow, orange tint to it. We want white. So I might have to try and maybe save up for like the ring light sort of things, that I can just use them that way, possibly. That might be a thing I'll have to look into doing. But yeah, this is another bit of stop motion we had to go in here. Again, this was 2, so 1, 2, next movement 1, 2. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, had that going for that. It's really weird when it comes to stop motion. It takes so long to do. But then when you put all the footage together, you put it to the right frame rate and everything, it probably won't even be like 2 minutes of footage. It could be like a minute. It is kind of annoying. So that's why you just really need to ensure you've got a plot. You really need to make sure you kind of get it across and everything. Like, for example, Siege of Mandalore stop motion, which is my next project. I've split that up into 5 parts, so that means I can get enough out of it, because I feel like I'll just rush through it if I just fit into one, because it's quite elaborate. So, like, I think my 5 parts is about 3 of them are the most action-packed, and then you got 2 which are not as action-packed, so they can take longer. I'm kind of hoping, because there's 5 parts, probably looking, I don't know really, between 10 to 20 minutes altogether, because I want to release the parts separately each week or month or however long it takes me to film it, and then once I got everything sorted, I will put it into one big video, so it's like one long sit-in, so you don't have to keep watching each part, clicking off it and going on to the next part, just so it flows better, really. So that's something I've never really done before. It's a really simple thing to do. I've never really done that before, so I want to see how well I can like sync them all together. And yeah, it should be fun doing that as well. So here is the scene I was explaining earlier with the pilot bit. So this was the purple. If I can find it again, this one. See, that was purple, and it didn't actually take any colour off, I don't think. So that purple really worked well in this part. I did add a motion thing. As you can see, it's like shaking a bit. I was trying to get across like a sort of turbulence going on. I think it came out alright. Not the best. I would have wanted it to come out a bit better, but yeah, I wasn't too impressed with that, to be honest. Try and get onto it. I have to go to effects control. So yeah, I put the rotation. That's what I did. Rotation, just slightly doing it a bit. I experimented around with it to try and make it look the best. That was the best I thought I could get it anyway. But yeah, so here's the Ultra key and bit. You go into effects, type in Ultra key, drag it onto your clip, then you go into your effects controls, and here you can change around with everything. You've got your key color, so you can select the color you want to remove. And then when you want to clean it up, make it look as good as possible. These are the what I put: transparency 45, highlight 10, shadow 50, tolerance 50, and pedestal 10. I'd never really mess around with matte cleanup and the rest of those, to be honest, because normally just matte generation seems to just make everything fine. I have had to use it recently though with matte cleanup with the latest, the Lego ones. But it doesn't really improve it too much unless you know exactly what you're doing, which, to be honest, with matte cleanup, I have no idea what I'm doing on that bit, really. So yeah, that's that bit. Here I did add the jitter in as well for the turbulence. I actually prefer how this bit came out. I think it looks much better. It might just be because the angle it's at here, it looks very 2D. It probably would have helped if I added a drop shadow to the gunship. That may have made it look a bit better, possibly. I'm not too sure. But yeah, like this, I used the orange thing. And yeah, as you can see, the colours are completely fine. They're all blue. They are all still blue. You can still see the green as well. The green's kept fine. If you want to know how I basically, I haven't really covered it. I'm gonna move. I feel like I'm just gonna be jumping around a lot. For example, the gunship. I did take the picture. I just cracked it into Photoshop afterwards, and what was it? The polygon tool, was it? And masked around the gunship, and then changed it to that color. Filled the rest of it to that color, of course. And yeah, just went through it that way. That honestly was the easiest way to do it. Like I did say earlier about how I tried to put it up against a green screen, like the cardboard I had. But then you've got the shadow, it's just a pain. So it's easier just literally taking a picture of it wherever, as long as the lighting's the same and consistent. Take a picture wherever, bang it into Photoshop, and just crop around it and do it that way. That is the one issue that this one suffered from. The lighting wasn't consistent, so we got the glare off from my, what was it? It must have been like my mirror maybe, or the window. And yeah, it glared onto the gunship, which it makes it not look as good as if I can find the clip it's from. Somewhere along here. Here. You can see, like, you can tell in the footage, there's no lighting, there's no sunbeam coming from anywhere, and you've got glare on the gunship bit, considering the rest of them don't either. So yeah, I just tried my best with it. I knew I couldn't do too much with it, with the resources I had at hand and the time I was like filming all of it. So I just went with it, and it seemed to still have got a good reception on YouTube with the comments and the views and everything. So I just kind of settled on it. If I did go back now, I would try and redo it, but there's not really much I could do in post for it. But yeah, one bit which really kind of bugged me was them landing. The ships landing. They're kind of landing at different paces. I kind of wanted them to land at the same pace. Like, there we go. That last one, that landed really quick for no reason, and I don't like that. I was trying to get like the same curve on them as they're coming down, so it's smoother. I did do that if you go to effects control, and whatever when you're doing, like if it's position scale, you click on the arrow right next to it, and you have your it's like a line. If I can find where the transitions are on each one. So we do on this gunship. I don't know what one it is. But you can see here it's very blocky. Which I don't actually know what one it was. It might be the bottom one just landing there. What you want to do is you want to right click and you want to go, I believe it's, temporal interpolation. Probably butchered that. And then you can do ease in, ease out. I think it's on the first one you want to do ease out, and then the last keyframe you want to do ease in. And I think that's supposed to make it look a bit smoother. In my case, it didn't work. It depends what you're doing it for, I think. In my case, it didn't really work out well. I think we try it. So ease out first and then ease in. I think it made it go way too fast. Oh, actually, oh wow, I should have messed around with this setting. It looks much better. So it's this one here coming in. That looks so this one, it looks so much smoother. If I just, is there a way I can just like, I think it was linear, wasn't it? It was set to before. You compare it to when it was linear. Very blocky, I feel. It's not too much of a difference to it, but it's just I can tell. So I should have messed around with that, really. It looks smoother. But yeah, there you go. That's how you do it. I have watched tutorials on stuff before, but it was mainly like this. Easing in, easing out, making it look smoother. Yeah, so that's how it worked. This bit was a pain. The fading out. I faded them out of the same time as each other, but they didn't, for some reason, do it. It didn't work. So I started phasing the gunships out before the background and after the background. It just didn't want to work. This was the closest I could get to it. If I try and line it back up, see, they just don't go out. You can see it's lined up. They're lined up, but it just goes out at different times, which is really weird. As you can see, they're all there. It's really odd. I don't know why. That's one thing I can't get my head around. That's like really the only thing I couldn't get my head around, and it bugged me for ages trying to sort that out. It just wouldn't want to work. But yeah, I think that's really, I don't even know if you could call it a behind the scenes. I guess it is. Just kind of showing you how I set out my stuff, how I do my green screen, how I do like the animating of like still images, because as you know, they are still. Then I animate them using the keyframes and everything. So I recommend, if you are looking for a software you can keyframe stuff easier with, I've used so many editing softwares with keyframing and everything, and honestly, I think Premiere Pro is the best for it, to be quite honest. I've tried Camtasia, I've tried Sony Vegas. They're meh. I think the worst is Camtasia when it comes to keyframing. But yeah, Premiere Pro, definitely recommend it. If you haven't got your 30-day free trial, on Premiere Pro, definitely do it. Just download just go to Adobe's website, and I'm pretty sure it's somewhere there. You can start your Adobe Cloud free trial. Again, it's 30 days, or you can pay for it. If you are a student, I don't know if you have to put in like a set age for it to do it. You can get all the products for £16 a month, I believe. So that's including Photoshop, After Effects, Premiere, Flash, all that. £16 a month. I think it's an alright deal. It's better doing it than buying them single, because to be honest, if you only want to use Adobe Premiere Pro and Photoshop, buying them separately is still more than getting every single Adobe thing in the £16 a month thing. So I would recommend doing that overwards. It's just over it. It's just kind of smarter doing it that way. Even if you won't like use After Effects. I've been using After Effects actually. I've used it for my media work, for like intros and stuff. It's helpful on that sort of front. For my live streaming as well, actually, I do it for the stinger transitions between scenes. So when I cut from like my starting soon to the actual gameplay scene, and there's that sort of wipe transition, I made that. What else did I make? The sort of the text, that's it, like glowing up. I did that as well. With the Copilot Saber Effects plugin, I think it's called. That's quite a cool one. I'll check that out if you want to, of course. So that's what most people use in Adobe for using like lightsaber effects if you're making like films. I could use it for my stop motions, but again, it's that way you have to mask around, and it just takes so long. I'm happy with the app I use. I just use Saber Movie Effects on my iPhone, and I'm quite happy with the results it comes out. It doesn't like look identical. It doesn't look as good as ones you can use when you're doing it in After Effects, but I think it sells it for me. You never know, in the future I might consider changing and doing it in After Effects. It just really depends, really. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for the video. Thank you again for getting to 200 subscribers. Last time I checked, which was just before filming, we were at 201 subs. So that is crazy, and I just don't really know how to put into words. I mean, most people probably think, yeah, 200 subscribers, that's not really anything. But I've been stuck at like 100. I was stuck at 170 for like a good year or something, and now we're just gradually picking up, and hopefully we can grow more. Like I said, I'll put links in description for channels that help me get to 200 subs, as it means a lot. And check out their content as well. James is at 2k, over 2k. I can't remember what it is exactly, but yeah, definitely go and help him on his way to 3k. And yeah, if you're into sprite animation, you'll definitely enjoy his content as well. So there you go, subscribe to me, you get your stop motion fix. You subscribe to him, you get your sprite animation fix. So yeah, I mean, how could you not want to do that? I do have my donation link down below as well, which is my Streamlabs one. If you are feeling generous and you want to donate, feel free to. I'm not telling you guys you have to, just if you really want to, as it does go towards my future media projects, and it will be helping the 5-part stop motion Siege of Mandalore as well. So yeah, again guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.